think we talked about this, and the lack of just economic literacy, or rather, they are economically illiterate. A lot of these people are, unfortunately, and they're in positions of power, or rather, they are backed generally by government who have people, be it in senates and houses and presidents. And we know like the legislative body, these people lead with their emotions, and they will run an economy into the absolute ground if they can, right? I'm about to show you this video by way of I never know how to say her last name. Is it Rapinoe or Rapinoe? Megan Rapinoe. It's still, even though for about since that last World Cup, we've been debunking this moronic economic illiterate argument of equal pay. And she's still making it with the backing, of course, the Bidens. So let's listen to what this chick has to say. Wrong thing. Why? What are we doing here? What are we doing? I'm trying to do a segment, right? And it's it's on the wrong overlay. All right, let me fix that real quick, guys. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna fix it. Everybody relax. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. What does Megan have to say?
I'm a member of the LGBTQ community.
With
pink hair.
Yeah. Thanks. We had no idea. We had no idea, Megan. I mean, appreciate you leading with that.
Where I come from, I could have only dreamed that I would be standing in the position I am today at the White House. I'm also a professional athlete, and I've helped, along with all of my teammates virtually here today, one teammate literally here today, win 4 World Cup championships and 4 Olympic gold medals for the United States. And despite those wins, I've been devalued, I've been disrespected, and dismissed because I am a woman. And I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I am a woman.
No.
You see, despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do.
Oh my God.
For each trophy,
this chick,
of which
man.
there are many, and for each win, for each tie, and for each time that we play, it's less. And I know there are millions of people who are marginalized by gender in the world and experience the same thing.
Like,
in
this
their
is an
jobs.
economically
And I know that there
illiterate
are
argument.
people who experience even more, where the layers of discrimination continue to stack against them.
Shut up.
And
Stop. This is fundamental stuff, okay? And it's an entirely socialistic, communistic argument, because they think, okay, I do labor, therefore I should be getting paid this. I've explained this. Actually, one of my big videos that launched my political career, or not political career, because I'm not in politics or anything, but as a political commentator, launched that career, was me talking about wages, right? I did this talking even with Tucker Carlson about this back when he was with Fox and Friends. And I'm explaining that you are not paid by simply in the act of doing, right? That's not what determines the worth or anything in terms of what you get paid. You're paid for the value, right, in the position it is that you're filling, right? It has nothing to do with you just doing something and therefore you should be paid X. No. What is the value in the position, right? So obviously this goes without saying. And in comparison to your counterparts, and she's talking about the men, more people watch, including women, more people watch men's soccer, right? It's the world sport. You know what I mean? Definitely. You know, it's so when we talk about like European football, like it is the world sport. It's not like what basketball and football is to us in America, right? Everywhere else, we know what the number one sport is. Nonetheless, more people watch that than they watch you. Period. Including with MLS, right? More people. I don't even knowing if they're women's professional teams, like an MLS equivalent, or if that women's league is even attached to the MLS, like we see with the WNBA and the NBA. I'm not even sure, but you're not bringing in revenue, bro, in comparison to your male counterparts. And I'm not saying that as an insult. You may be awesome in competing with other women. You may be a winner. And that's not to knock that accomplishment. I'm just giving you the facts aside from the emotions, bro. You're not paid for that. So what if the male league or your male counterpart is a loser? Doesn't even matter. More people are watching it. More people are spending money on it. That's why the value in their positions are more valuable than yours. And that's what you're paid for. See, I shouldn't even have to be making this economic argument. I shouldn't have to do this. But I have to, because you getting people making these communistic arguments where they're leading with the fact that I perform, I do labor, therefore nobody should be, let's say the male counterparts, I should be getting the same amount as them. No, you don't bring in the same amount of revenue. Why would you? Why would you? Less people watch it. More people watch that. It's more profitable because of that. More eyes are on it. More people are willing to invest in it. More people are willing to slap advertisements on it because it has more eyes. Therefore, it means more revenue for the league. This is basic stuff. But they're leading with emotions. The fact that your knucklehead ass president and his wife would just be backing his tomfoolery just goes to show these people are wanting to rule over you by way of strictly emotion. Because obviously her position doesn't even make sense. It's a complete non-point. It's a non-point. You perform and your male counterparts get more money than you. It's a non-point. It doesn't even matter. It's a complete non-point. It matters not. Because you're not bringing in the same amount of revenue. Your league does not. Your even at the international level, it simply does not. So why would you be getting paid like the men? It ain't about how you perform in comparison to them. You're not competing with them. You wouldn't be able to perform if you competed with them. Let's say they asked all women's leagues, as they said in the NBA. In the NBA, and I'm not talking about with like affirmative action where you got to have a certain percentage. Let's say it was just completely intersex league. They asked, let's say the WNBA. There would be no women in that league because you couldn't compete with them anyway. So even if we went off of the winning, you're only winning against your female counterparts. It's not like you would go win against the men. Y'all got y'all's asses kicked by what was that? What was it, like a 16-year-old? Was it under 16? Like the boys beat like the women's national team or something like that. So that's the second argument against this nonsensical point. Look, man, I understand that you guys definitely, and I say this as an athlete myself, right? You want to feel valued, right? And definitely in comparison to like your male counterparts. A lot of like athletics is one of the more merit-based things that exist in the world, right? There is some politics involved in it. But if you're good, you're good. If you're fast, you're fast. If you can jump high, you can jump high. Man, it's just what it is. If you're skilled at it, you're skilled at it. And generally those guys prevail, okay? Not always, but generally those guys prevail in seeing the higher level of success. Now, our bodies are not different. Our bodies are different. And males, obviously, from that athletic standpoint, just in sheer being males, have an advantage. So, from an entertainment value, you're seeing peak performance in human beings. So the stuff that the men do, for example, with basketball and watching the WNBA is night and day. They dunk the ball. They move they move faster. So it's more entertaining, including the women that watch it, the fans. It's more entertaining to them. It brings more revenue in. So some of that's part of it. But I won't leave out of the realm of possibility that somehow, I don't know how you do it, but maybe there's a way that you could bring in as much revenue as them and maybe not be strictly based on performance. I don't know. But the minute you do that and you're bringing in that amount of revenue, well, your pay will reflect it. Just winning isn't good enough. It's not. It's a non-argument. You're comparing yourself to people you can't even compete with. If you went up against them, you couldn't do what the Messis or the Ronaldos would do, even though they don't have as much international success. You can't do what they do. Mbappe has at a young age, he's had a lot of international success. You can't run as fast. You can't do what they do anyway. But either way, even if there was some way that aside, you're able to bring in the revenue, your pay will reflect that. These guys are making bad arguments and act like there's something wrong specifically with that, because likewise, in some cases, there are things that men or women are going to have an advantage in. But when it comes to that aspect, you can't sit up here and try to say something is wrong with the way economics are done just because you win in comparison to the men who compete against other men win, and therefore you should be paid. No, that's economically destructive, because that would take manipulation in the market, which we get a lot of that already, but you get what I'm saying. It's a purely nonsensical, easily debunkable argument, yet they're still making it. We've ripped this equal pay bull crap to shreds, and they're still making this argument. Unbelievable. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Cannon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcannonsake.com.